This is too good. All right. Well, so guys, welcome to another episode of Gold Ball Hunting. Yours truly, Mr. The Brainless Wonder. Not only yesterday in the finals, but today, Jeff and I were just having a lively discussion, and I had forgotten to actually click the button that turns on the recording. So, Jeff,
we've actually done 2 episodes already, and neither one of them are. No.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh. Well, how enthusiastic can we get to do a repeat of what we were just talking about? I mean, I
don't even remember what we were talking about.
That's right. Well, you've had yourself a long day, a long evening, being the hostess with the mostest yesterday at the Western Lawn Tennis Club to 300
of my closest friends,
your closest bros and girls. Any well, you know, it was like a party.
Well, it was a graduation party for one of our members, actually for 2 of our members' sons.
Yeah.
So
right.
it was a wonderful party, and it was great and all that. But you know, it just takes there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once everybody leaves, then there's cleanup and all that, and then there's winding down from it, and it takes a while to actually, unplug and get your mind and your brain to like stop thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, so it was about a 1 a.m.er, and then of course woke up abruptly this morning with a massive hamstring cramp.
What do you think that's from?
I don't know.
Is it chronic with you? Is it a chronic deal? Because you're not playing a ton of tennis, so.
Well, you know, it was for a while. It was, and I found my solution was it's a product called Cramp Defense, and it's magnesium, and I take it, you know, during the day because magnesium is one of those supplements that you have to supplement. Your body doesn't replenish. You have to help replenish it every day. It's not something that your body produces, right? So. But I found it works phenomenally, and I don't know whether it was just the length of the day and all that. And actually, you know, when I look back at it this morning, I thought, well, that's probably why so I wasn't on the court yesterday, but this was my mileage yesterday was just shy of 10 miles. Over 25,000 steps and 30 flights of stairs.
Of just walking around.
Just
Wow.
You know, so I guess that's pretty good.
Yeah. No, well, you definitely got some exercise yesterday, but I know exactly what you mean. I mean, those kinds of things, even when you're running a tournament, it's stressful because you're always thinking now, what have I forgotten to do? And you know, what could possibly go wrong here? And so
and you know, and the host very gracious saying, you know, eat, Jeff, you know, have some food and blah blah blah, and I when I'm in that mode, I can't do it. You know, it's just one of those things you can't stop and eat. You know, everything looks delicious, it smells great, and that, but I can't do it. You know, because I'm just you're everywhere. You know, and so.
Well, you kind of get into that.
So that was probably part of it too.
I'm sure it was.
You know, I don't think I actually ate last night. Now that I think about it, so I ate probably around 11 o'clock in the morning, and not a lot. It was leftover little, you know, pile of salad from the night before. It had a little bit of protein in it, you know, and then I think that was it for the day. So that probably had something to do with it, you know. So.
Well. Another day. I'm looking out at the San Jacintos right now. I think there's a fire on the west side. There's been a big white puffy cloud, and it's the only cloud in the sky, and it just seems to be getting bigger and bigger. And it has been brutally hot here in the desert the last couple of weeks. Well, listen, I want to talk to you about my very disappointing performance in the finals yesterday, the men's National 70 hard courts in Irvine. And, you know, the day before, I'd beaten a guy I'd never beaten before in the semis. And just, really felt the ball. I think there's kind of
Yeah.
the difference where you kind of feel the ball and like yesterday, I just never really got into that feeling. And, we were joking before the first time we recorded, and you said a couple of bad words, and I had to delete that recording. and But just felt tight, played
Yeah.
tight. I mean, the whole time, just really tentative, and the solution always, well, what do you got to lose? Well, it's just tennis.
Right.
And if you're going to go down, everyone says, just go down, hit the ball, go down in flames. So what?
Right.
All right. So what? Well, so what is that I don't literally want to like go and hit the ball as hard as I can and miss everything.
Right.
And yet you have to, at least for me, I just mentally could not find a voice that would kind of free me up and go, all right, screw it. Just screw it. It
Right.
is just tennis. At least you're not sitting on some U.S. aircraft carrier in the Gulf of, the Straits of
Wherever.
Hormuz, where
Right.
you're wondering what Iran's going to do next. And it's not quite to that level of intensity here, Brent.
Right.
So just relax, chill out, and let it go. So I never got there, but
Well, that's that's the mystery of the game, though. That's
Yeah.
I think it's more prevalent in obviously individual sports than it is a team group sport. You can get uplifted by your partner even in doubles,
well, I
right?
was just going to say even the doubles is so much more relaxing.
Right. You can get realigned, and your partner can kind of help you find that path if they're being really supportive and kind of encouraging you to take your cuts and pick your spot and take your cuts, do it, and then you kind of feel that support, so you find that emotional and mental path to get back on track. And
Yeah.
It may not be 100%, but at least you feel like you're in the game, like you're a contributor. But in singles, sometimes, like you said, like the day before, you felt great. You pulled off a win that you hadn't, a guy you hadn't beaten before. And then you wake up, on the morning of the final, and it's like, where's that guy?
Yeah.
Where's the guy from yesterday?
Right.
And you wake up and you don't feel it.
Yeah.
You just, and then you get out on the court, you get your warm up in, and you're hitting, and you're kind of going, waiting for the guy to show up.
Yeah.
And he kind of never does. And I think that's the mystery of the game. And I think even, at the highest level, I mean, we've all seen Fed kind of not be there. We've seen Rafa not be there. We've, as much as they're fighting but you can kind of see that they're just grasping at straws, even at that level of the game. And even though they're playing spectacular tennis, it's not their spectacular tennis.
Right. Yeah.
It's something else other than that. So I feel your pain. Because
Well, I
we've
still
all been
think.
there.
I mean, I have to look at it. All right. Well, that was an experience, and I've got to maybe even do a little journaling about it, just a little bit, just so I've got something down on paper, so that it does become a learning experience. It does become
Right.
something that I can, the next time I feel that way, that first of all, you have to recognize that that's what's happening, and then second of all, there's something that you've decided after you've written in your journal. Well, here's what I want to do next time, or
Right.
here's what I want to do instead. And for me, the sentence would go something like, if you don't get the W today, let's at least hit the ball with some authority. And
Right.
if you miss it, you miss it. But I always sort of tell my doubles partners sometimes who, they'll poach and they'll just shove a little volley over there, and then it comes back, and we, 4 or 5 balls later, we lose a point.
Right.
And I tell them, I said, hey man, I love the move. Next time, just go ahead and give that ball a good, solid ride. If you hit it out in the net, I'm fine with that. I want to lose a point that way.
Right.
What I don't want to do is lose a point where we get tentative and tight and we push, and then because it just has this horrible residual effect. And maybe that's really kind of what the answer is that we're looking for the residual. If you lose the point, what's the residual going to be? Well, it could be that you're pushing and tight and tentative.
Right.
That's going to that's going to work its way over to the next few points, if not the rest of the match. And if you go and sting it and miss it, you go, all right, I can bring that in a little bit. I didn't have to go quite so close to the line, even though I hit it well. So there's a little
Yeah, you start to massage. Yeah, you start to massage the ball around the court. Then you're pissed off because I didn't hit it, and so you have this battle in your head. Well, you got to hit it, but then you don't want to hit it out because you're massaging the ball around, and it's this evil catch-22, this cycle that keeps this circular conversation in your head, and emotionally it's circular. You keep going around in it, and like you said, in dubs you can tell your partner, hey, step across here and go ahead and give it a ride. And we'll, blah, blah, blah. But let's not just massage it into the open court and have to hit 4 more balls for, And so that's also, part of it is when you're making the right move, or you're implementing, or, you have the right plan, but you're having trouble implementing it. You still have to stay the course and take your shots, stick with the plan, and keep moving through it. Otherwise, it's just a losing proposition, because emotionally and mentally, you keep confirming that you're not hitting the ball, and you keep confirming that you're quit being a wussy today, and that, you know what I mean. I mean, you start the storytelling and the kind of the self defeating talk just keeps expanding. Because you're doing something that is not what you want to do, but you're having trouble getting yourself out of that rut, and so the rut itself just keeps getting deeper.
I don't think I didn't even get that aware of what was happening. I mean, I didn't really realize. God, you're playing so tight. What is just forget it. Let's do. It was like at the end of the match, I was exhausted. Like the last 2 games at 5-all in the second set, I get broken, and then he holds it like, I don't know, 40-15 or something, and I'm just exhausted. And I wasn't. It was all mental. Yeah. It was all the mental of the match of just the whole.
Well, I mean, here's the other side of the coin, though, too, is that how much did the day before take out of you mentally and emotionally?
I felt pretty good. I mean, I don't think it was that. Right. I think it was the mental grind of, I mean, the first set was a breaker, right? So, and the second set, Jeff, I'm up 5-2 in the second.
Ouch.
I'm up 5-2, 1 break in the second, and I got even more tentative at that point. Yeah. I mean, look. I mean, one of the realities of this, even if the top guys, one of the realities is they're going to give you a couple of free points, and if you just don't screw up those moments, before and after, you package together a couple of good shots. Oh wow! Now all of a sudden you've strung some points together, and you're up 5-2.
Right.
And I think I might have had a set point. At some point. I think I might have had a set point when he was serving at
3-5, 4-5,
something. Yeah,
somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. Whatever there was. Anyway, the point is that I just got more tentative at that moment, and by the end of it, I was just exhausted. And then the little voices are going off. So I guess the point is, look, guys. Everyone does it. I remember Alan Fox, the great one, said, "You will never ever remedy not getting tight for the rest of your life. That's going to happen at some point. Maybe you can reduce it, but we're human beings, and you're going to get tight at some point. So, to me, the answer is can you recognize when that's happening?" And then just decide, hey, how do you not? I think it's more, if I lose today, maybe that sounds like a defeatist thing, but I don't look at it that way. I say, look, if I go down today, I'm going down this way under my terms.
Right.
So
yeah, totally. I think that's because that it's also it's way more energy mentally and emotionally too when you're in that struggle. which is why you end up feeling exhausted at the end of it, because
Right.
you're the mental and emotional, wind up is just, it's way more, non-user friendly, and just, it sucks up the gas, just.
Hey, after the match, I was
Just,
sitting around with a couple guys, and they were saying, "Hey, God, nice match, great playing," and I just said, "No, it wasn't. No, it really wasn't." I mean, I appreciate that. Thank
right,
you. And then we started talking, and I had this thought, and I went, because I told the guy, I said, I just played tight. And I said, I don't know of any other area of my life
right,
off the tennis court, has nothing to do with tennis, in my personal life, this or that. I don't know of any other area where I play tight.
right,
And I'm going, why now? Why here? Right? What are the consequences? I mean, there's so many other things we do in our lives that have probably
right.
greater consequences.
Absolutely.
And it's just a stinking tennis match. And you're going, and you're playing tight? What kind of mental midget
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah. What's up with that?
So, all right, look, I think we've kicked this one around enough.
Yeah.
Jeff, man, listen, we're still offering a free private coaching call. In fact, I might take you up on that free private 10-minute coaching call. I might call in.
That's right. Schedule it, dude.
I'm going to schedule it myself, and the way to schedule it, I'm going to go over to goalballhunting.com. I'm going to put in my first name and my email address. I'll click the button, and then I will get access to the online calendar scheduler where I get to cherry pick a date and
Yes.
time that works best for me, so I can get on a phone call with Jeff and Brent. It'll be somehow a three-way call with myself. I'll be wearing two hats on that one. But it's
Yeah.
free, it's private, and it's only 10 minutes. So you got to bring that one thing in your game right now that maybe is holding you back from that result that you want to get. Jeffrey, what would you like to find folks to do at this moment?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
Guys, get out there today. I think the fire is a cloud. I think that white thing is a cloud. But anyway, if you're near a fire, get out there and help the guys today. Or help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff will do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.